Hi, this is diabetes number 7. It's about energy metabolism. Metabolic rates means how fast the tissues can turn protein, carbohydrates, and fat into energy. So on the diagram on the right, the male and female and child, okay, the total usage is 100%. So the liver, the brain, and the muscle is about 20%, right? And then the heart, followed by the heart and kidneys, and then the fat tissues and others. So even if we don't exercise, we just do nothing, our brain still uses 20%, our liver still uses 20%, our heart still uses 9%, our kidneys still use 8%. This is regardless of heavy exercise. Yep. So how to calculate metabolic rates? How do we know how much energy our body is burning? There are two scientists have come up with formulas. One is the Harris-Benedict equation. One is the Mifflin-Street-George equation. So the top one and the bottom one. Okay, so BMR stands for base metabolic rate for male and then for female. So I've done some calculations on the left. Assuming 70 kilograms, a male 70 kilograms and 175 cm, and a 40-year-old male, he burns about 1006 calories a day. Women, assuming 50 kilograms, 165 cm, and 40 years old, they will burn 1100 calories a day. Yeah, so energy reserves. So this is how much energy we have. The fat, we can last, 100 days. Okay, those people who go on hunger strike, they will die after. Normally they can only last 100 days and then they die. So the 100 days is considered the max without eating. Whereas glycogen can only last about one whole day. If you don't eat for one whole day, your glycogen is probably gone. And if you exercise, it can last maybe 1.5 to 2 hours of jogging. And we look at protein. Protein is not very efficient. So glycogen is being blocked. Yeah, but its total is about 1,800 calories. Protein is about 30 to 40,000 calories. Muscle. But muscle is not a good source of energy compared with fat. Okay. Because yeah, it's not as good as fat. And now about obesity. So those people who try to lose weight, video 1 to video 4 teaches you how to lose weight, but the problem is you will gain back the weight for 80 to 85% of the people, right? So even those people who exercise, they will still lose weight, because one reason is because when you lose weight, your metabolism also drops, right? Drop by 15 to 20%. So your weight loss drops, but your metabolism also drop. So you have to continue exercising. Okay, even after weight loss, you have to maintain. Why? It's because when you exercise, then you train your body to metabolize faster the energy. And obese people, they have more fatty acid in the blood, so they have a lot of heart. They got liver problem, and they have a heart problem. So you need to get rid of the fat. Now a bit about insulin resistance. This is one of the diagrams that I found. It's one possible explanation for why the cells get insulin resistance. If you look at the right hand side, the TNFA, tumor necrotic factor alpha, on the most right hand side at the top. It starts with this because when the body produces too much of this, it can affect the cells, all the cells. Okay, it can affect that it will come into the cell and then it affects the kinases. Kinases is the enzymes, right? It's some chemicals in the cells, and then all this, it starts a chain reaction that causes it change the protein in the cells lah. So when the protein in the cells are changed, the IRS protein is changed, so the insulin cannot bind to the cell anymore, right? The insulin at the top here is supposed to bind to the cell to allow glucose to come in, right? But when the IRS is changed because of phosphorus bonds, right? Phosphor related IRS, then it could cause insulin resistance. So these are some of the diabetes prevalence I found in Malaysia. So it's on the left, you can see the prevalence in 2019. It is about almost 20%, right? 19.3%. Whereas 7 or 8 years ago, it was only 11.2%. So 11% become 19% after 8 years. So Malaysia is having a big increase in diabetes. And we look at the right hand side, you can see the old people, 60 to 65 is the highest. Whereas 18 to 29 is about, is about 5.9%. But still got 18 to 29 still got 5.9% of the people. Okay, so of all old people is 40 over percent, still 60 to 65, 40 over percent of them have diabetes, and a lot of them, the blue color one, they don't even know they have diabetes. So exercise. Okay, what happens when we exercise, right? The first 6 to 20 seconds, we use creatinine phosphate. It's part of the TCA cycle. But after 20 seconds, all this creatinine is used up. So from the next 20 seconds to 2 minutes, the cell will use glycogen, but there is no oxygen. Okay, because the cells got no oxygen, but so it will produce lactic acid. But once the lactic acid is produced, it will cause vasodilation. So the blood vessels will start to open up, right? Because there's too much CO2. So the chemicals in the blood vessel will open up and then allow more blood to come in, allow the heart to pump faster. And then oxygen and glucose, nutrients will come inside to the muscle. And then you can do oxidative metabolism, which uses ATP. So oxidative metabolism is is the most efficient process to generate energy. And then you can use fatty acid and glycogen. So exercise is recommended for diabetes because it lowers the blood glucose level, and the muscle don't need insulin to bring glucose in during exercise. So when you exercise, whether you got insulin or not, it doesn't matter. Glucose can still go in your muscle. Of course, you need a bit of training and the cells become stronger because the size of the mitochondria, the size and the number of mitochondria increases. Mitochondria is the engine room of the cell. Okay, now some tips about eating I learned is we eat protein, the best time is 1 to 2 hours after exercise because when we exercise, there's a net loss there's a small loss of protein that our muscles burn. So and 1 to 2 hours, then the cells will start to build new protein, right? So the cells will use, so if you eat protein, then the cells can build new protein, then you got bigger muscle. And don't eat too much fat lah. Wild animals are very thin, very lean. If you catch a deer, a rabbit, a bird, a chicken, wild chicken, wild animals lah, as long as they don't have much fat. It's only the farm animals that have a lot of fat. So all this fat is our body. It's not have not evolved to be eating so much fat lah. So in conclusion, we use about 1,005 for men and 1,001 for women. Okay, but this is with very little exercise, so we should eat a bit more lah. It's recommended to eat about, I think for America they eat 2,000 lah, 2,000 for men, 2,000 to 2,005 for men. But of course American, they are bigger, so they eat more lah. And also if you are trying to lose weight, then you have to eat lesser than the usage mah. And also we eat more because I think not all of it is absorbed in our body. If we eat 2,000, maybe we only 1,008 or 1,007 is absorbed. So so we should not we should monitor properly lah. Whether we want to lose weight, then we have to eat lesser than what we use. Okay, so our fat is very big. Okay, our storage is very big compared with animals. Animal, you don't feed them, after a few days they will die. But humans, 100 days without eating, maximum lah, 100 days. Well, of course I'm not asking you to try it lah. Okay, exercise help us to maintain weight loss. Okay, yeah. So obesity can cause insulin resistance lah. One of the ways lah, by inflammatory cytokines. Older people have a higher chance of getting diabetes, and exercise has many benefits lah, like burning fat, making cells stronger, and to build muscle, we want to eat protein lah after 1 to 2 hours after exercising. Okay, thank you, bye.